Another thing is limit time following news. Limit time following the news. Spending too much time following news on television and social media can increase stress. Limit the time you spend following the news if it increases your stress. There are people that their job is to follow the news, like journalists, analysts, and all that, even content creators. They follow the news so that they can make content, right? So, but it is good that we limit the time. If your job is not to follow, if you are not a newscaster, if you are not a journalist, if you don't work in media, you're not the one that reads the news, analyze the news, and all of that. If your work doesn't involve following the news, you limit the time you spend following the news. Limit the time you spend on social media following the news. They said that you can mix it. You just only concentrate on negative news. You can watch comedy. You can watch things that will improve your mood, things that will make you laugh, things that will make you happy, and all that. Not all the time focusing on news. So you mix it. Time you spend on social media, you spend some time, looking at other things that will improve your mood, not only things that will bring down your mood. So it helps to limit the time. There's another place where they said that you can specify certain times you go on social media, maybe like twice a day. You can limit the time you go on social media or the time you watch the news on television. You can say, okay, I'll watch the news so time, and not throughout the day, or not doom scrolling. Doom scrolling is when you are scrolling, like on Twitter, X, you are scrolling and you're looking for bad news. What is all the bad things that are going on? That is said to be doom scrolling, and it's not encouraged. Rather, you can spend time on your social media. There are other things you can do other than following the news. You can read some articles. You can read some things that are informative. And things that don't bother on the bad news that is going on. So these are ways that we can cope with stress. It's important to be able to cope with stress, because if we are inundated as we are now with a lot of bad news, a lot of things that are going on, these things can really make us stressed. And as we've seen, chronic exposure to stressful situations can lead to adverse health challenges, can lead to bad health conditions, as I've mentioned before. And so we have to learn ways of coping with stress, as we've seen. We have to avoid maladaptive ways of coping with stress, and now look at positive ways that we can cope with stress. So as I've mentioned, it's good to be empathetic, it's good to be compassionate. You should also note that you can also have compassion fatigue, when you are trying to be of help, but you are overwhelmed with a lot of things that are going on. So it helps to delegate duties. If you happen to be a leader, if you happen to be in charge of a unit, in charge of a group, learn to delegate tasks. There are some tasks that you give to subordinates, to share the tasks, share the work, share it among persons that have different committees. You will work on this, you work on this, you work on that, so that at the end of the day, everybody has duties they are doing, and so you will not be burdened with carrying all the task. So sometimes where you see, like the president, for example, sending the vice president, sending ministers and all that, it's helpful, you understand. Then one thing that the president did, which is encouraging, he was supposed to go to G20 and all that. He now suspended, he now cancelled that trip. That is very good, you understand. And when you see situations that are happening and you show that you really care, that you show that you really feel what is going on. It's not just feel, like the president said, I feel sad about what is going on. Good, you feel sad about it. And what are you doing? You suspended your trip abroad, which is good, and then you now having meetings with security chiefs, having meeting with the state and local authorities, monitoring the events and seeing what is going on, and we've seen some of the outcomes of that, with some people being released and some rescues and all of that. So when we see that the president is not, let's say there are things are happening in different communities, even if he's not physically present, he should send delegates to each of these communities to interact with people, to talk with people. It's important that when things happen, the people that are affected, it's important that the government send people to talk to them, to listen. You don't always have all the means to solve all the problems they have or to rectify what has happened. But when you send people there, you tell the people to listen. It's not just to go there and instruct people. No, you go there and you listen. You touch, you hold, and you comfort people that are going through some difficulties, those who have lost loved ones. Comfort them, let them feel seen, let them feel that they matter, and then if there are things that you can do, if they've suffered loss of property, loss of their means of livelihood, and you provide some means of support, some things that they can for feeding and all that. If all those things are important, because the people now feel heard, feel seen, and feel that the government cares about them. And then when some people are frustrated because of repeated things that are happening, and they make certain utterances and make certain things, show understanding and try to put yourself in the position of the person. And don't be easy to criticize. Don't be too quick to criticize. Don't be too quick to jump on what they are saying. Just these people are speaking from a position of pain, position of hurt, and they are really passing through some difficulties. But if they see that you listen, if you see that you care, if you see that you are concerned, then it will help them dealing with the stressful situation that they are going through. So it's important that we show empathy, and when we show empathy, it can move us to show compassion, to be compassionate and help other people. That too is important. Even when events take place and we are not personally affected by it, we should show empathy. Put ourselves in their position. Show compassion. If there are things we can do to help, we help. Even if we don't have means to help anybody, we can listen to what they are saying and show some understanding. And we can show restraint in the way we talk about issues. We can show some restraint so that we do not unnecessarily worsen or inflame the situation. As much as possible, we show restraint, show maturity, and show understanding. We are living in difficult times. We pray and hope that things get better, but as much as we can, we lend a listening ear to others, an understanding hearts, and show restraint in what we say, what we write, and what we post, so that we do not be quick to post or write things that are inflammatory or things that will worsen the situation. You understand? Rather, do things that be positive, things that will be uplifting. As I've said, it's easy when these things are happening to be hateful, to be spiteful, to be vengeful, and to feel that, this thing is, it's easy to do that. But rather, remove hate from your heart, replace it with love, with concern, with understanding, with kindness, and we are all humans, and people react in different ways, but it's on us for us to show understanding and care on others, and don't be so overwhelmed by what is going on, and don't be so pushed to now do things that tends to worsen. You know, it's not healthy for us to be chronically exposed to these things, and so take time out, take breaks from the news, take time out and do other activities. Plan your day so that all your day will not be spent on doom scrolling, looking for the bad news that is going on. Rather, you can do other uplifting activity, you can do exercise, have a good night's rest and all that. Spend time with friends and families and stuff like that. It's all good. We hope for the best. Even when things are not good, pray that we hope that we show empathy, we show care, we are compassionate, and we show kindness and grace in what we say, what we write, what we post, and what we do. Let us be part of those who impart good on others, so that we can all have a little sigh of relief from all the negativity and all the bad that is going on. Thank you very much.